Okay, good evening. Welcome to All Our Politics, the Thursday edition, the abridged version. I will start this one earlier, 5 o'clock. All Our Politics Thursday. My name is Azul Sumile. Quite a lot is happening in the country today. We'll focus essentially on the economy on the show today because there's some good news. And President Buhari has also issued a personal statement on the economic and revenue activities of the NNPC. I'm coming to that, but first, let's start with some political news. Latest development in the House of the PDP. Nigeria's leading opposition party. After 2 days of what has been described as an inter-party spat, some kind of confusion in the PDP, the leadership of the party has today affirmed that Elder Yemi Akinwumi, the Deputy National Chairman South, will be the acting chairman of the party. Kola Ologbondiyan, the spokesman of the party, disclosed this after a national working committee meeting of the party today in Abuja. The board of trustees of that party is also meeting at this moment. Mr. Akinwumi will now replace Uche Secondus, the national chairman, who has been ordered by Rivers State High Court to restrain from parading himself as chairman or member of the PDP. Ologbondiyan said now the National Executive Council of the party will meet on Saturday to ratify Mr. Akinwumi's position as acting national chairman. It says Elder Yemi Akinwumi was unanimously affirmed as acting chairman during today's meeting. Kola Ologbondiyan also said we'll be holding our caucus and another national working committee meeting tomorrow, preparatory to holding our national executive council meeting at 12 o'clock on Saturday. That's the latest in the PDP. We hear the board of trustees are also meeting at this hour. I think it's put to rest the controversy over who takes over from Uche Secondus. Remember, as soon as that court judgment was made, there was a confusion because Senator Suleiman Nazif, Deputy National Chairman, North, said he will take the reins as acting chairman because Elder Yomi Akinwumi is incapacitated. That was what he had said at that time. There were reports that Mr. Akinwumi has suffered a stroke, so does not have the medical capacity to leave the party. But I think all that has been thrown out now because leadership of the party has affirmed him as acting national chairman of the PDP. Another story that has come out this afternoon from Abuja is a personal statement signed by President Muhammadu Buhari. I will just read this statement. I am pleased to announce the declaration of profit after tax of 287 billion naira in year 2020 by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, the NNPC. This is sequel to the completion of the statutory annual audit exercise for the year 2020. The NNPC losses were reduced from 803 billion in the year 2018 to 1.7 billion in the year 2019, and the eventual declaration of net profit in year 2020 for the first time in its 44-year history. President Buhari said this development is consistent with the administration's commitment to ensuring prudent management of resources and maximizing of value for the Nigerian people from their natural resources. I have further directed the NNPC to timely publish the audited financial statements in line with the requirements of the law and as a follow-up to our commitment to ensuring transparency and accountability by public institutions. President Buhari ended this statement by saying, I congratulate the board, management and staff of the NNPC. I look forward to greater value creation for the Nigerian people. For the first time in 44 years, the NNPC has made profit in its business. The president has announced today in Abuja. Another story, of course, today is the National Bureau of Statistics, the NBS. Big things are happening there. Today, against all expectations, the NBS have announced that Nigeria's GDP have recorded a 5% growth for the second quarter 2021. How did that happen? The National Bureau of Statistics has said Nigeria's GDP grew by 5.01% year on year in real terms in Q2 2021. The NBS disclosed this in its latest report on the nation's GDP entitled Nigerian Gross Domestic Product Report Q2 2021 released today. I had explained that the increase in the GDP index marked 3 consecutive quarters of growth following the negative growth rates recorded in the second and third quarters of 2020. According to the NBS, the Q2 2021 growth rate was higher than the minus 6% growth rate recorded in Q2 2020 and the 0.51% recorded in Q1 2021 year on year, indicating the return of business and economic activity near levels seen prior to the nationwide implementation of COVID-19 related restrictions. Now, this is probably very good news for a lot of people who understand how the Nigerian economy works. I mean, the GDP has taken the blow, especially because of the pandemic and issues around around forex, especially the Nigerian currency, the naira, for a long time now. But this, according to government, is good news, better news than they have seen in the past. So I want to speak to an economist, an expert in these matters, Mr. Orji Udemezue. We spoke a short time ago and he tried to look at this. Of course, he had his reservations, but he said if it's true, that this indeed are something to celebrate. Let's listen to Orji Udemezue. When we come back, we will interact on the Nigerian economy and, of course, on the NNPC's profits. The GDP that has just been released today by the National Bureau of Statistics is saying that domestic GDP grew by 5.01% year on year in real terms in second quarter 2021. Once I saw this, I was a bit confused. I had to look at the numbers again because I knew that Q2 2020 the GDP was -6. You know, to now rise to 5.01 is a massive growth. Can you analyze this for us, Orji Udemezue?
Oh, well, you know, these are GDP figures are estimated, figures of the growth in the activities in the economy as total productivity or output. Nigeria has been struggling with, GDP growth, very fragile growth. We just came out of a recession, first quarter of this year, and the growth has remained, subdued at around 1%, 1.8%, and so on. So to now jump from there to 5%, it sounds to me quite miraculous and very ambitious figure. I just want to hope that these figures are not political, in any way. But however, we expect that as COVID is clearing away gradually and normalcy is returning in many jurisdictions around the world, and even as oil price, rallied, a while before it started stabilizing now or just tanking a bit. With all of these activities have picked up in a few parts of our economy. So we've been expecting that Nigeria's growth will continue to move further up. But to jump to 5%, for me, it's quite a big surprise. It's quite miraculous looking. In any case, let's be optimistic. If those figures are accepted by the IMF and they are reported as correct, then that's okay. It's something to celebrate, and we must have to think of how to continue to sustain this. A country that is grappling with a heavy level of insecurity, with foreign direct investment flowing away out of the country, foreign portfolio investments are not coming in. We have FX challenge, very high level of inflation and all of that. As long as we are sure that this figure is really fully sterilized of inflation effect, there is something to be thankful about. However, the economy is not in any way in a good shape, for us to actually celebrate. So many sectors are still struggling. Our revenue level is still very, very poor compared to total budget we want to run. We are borrowing heavily to drive growth, and that borrowing will eventually haunt this nation. So it's very important that government does not go into the usual fake celebration mode. They must sit back in a very sober way to see how we can continue to work towards diversifying this economy away from oil. That's a major concern we still have in this economy. Our debt service to revenue ratio is still above 70-80%, and there's nothing left to run the economy. After paying for record expenditure and other expenses. We have nothing to create capacity in the economy by way of infrastructure development and other capital expenditure part of our budget.
Okay.
So, but to have a 5% growth is something encouraging, but there's still a lot of work to do.
Yes.
However.
Because I've been reading the reasons for this growth by the National Bureau of Statistics, and one thing they said, apart from the fact that the economy is gradually returning to normal post-pandemic, is that the growth was driven by open borders. That means business activity is taking place in terms of import and export once again. And I remember the closure of the borders. Can we now look back and, with the benefit of hindsight, and say the closure of the national borders, that took place those years, was a huge failure?
It was a disaster. It was a very unthinkable decision by government. It was something that nobody in a globalized world, where we are pushing the boundaries open in a continent in Africa where we are seeking for more intra-Africa trade, where we have all kinds of agreements here and there that we're not keeping to. It's a shame that government has to do that part, when they did. We all condemned that action, and today we are all vindicated. They ought not to have taken the decision. It was a disaster indeed.
Now talking about GDP, I've seen these numbers for this Q2 2021. $375 billion. This is the national GDP. I remember that in 2015, in the days before Goodluck Jonathan left office, we were celebrating the biggest GDP in Africa, $500 billion. Again, celebrating today at $375 billion as the national GDP. Is it not celebrating something that is a negative growth?
Oh, well, what actually has happened is that due to the devaluation or depreciation of our currency, the dollar value of our GDP has significantly dropped. Mind you, when in 2014 we recalibrated our GDP, we rebased it from 1991 to 2019 prices.
Yes.
We jumped from about $270 billion to $509 billion precisely. And that was a huge celebration. We took over from South Africa, who was there at about $372 billion GDP. But both South Africa and Nigeria have also suffered heavy losses in value due to worsening price of our domestic currency. South African rand has suffered a big loss, just like Nigeria's naira. About this time, if you remember, naira was somewhere well below 200 naira to $1.
Yes.
Today we're talking about 500 naira to $1 unofficial or parallel market rate. In any case, however it is, we hope that we will find a way to resolve this dollar scarcity issue. So what has happened actually is not that we have stopped, adding value to the economy. But what has happened is that the value we added relatively has dropped due to the weakening local currency. So when you convert our activities in dollars, it has actually lost value. Just like the real wage for all of us in this country has taken a dive down south.
Okay, my friend, Ojudomo is a good place to live in this evening. Thank you very much. Ojudomo is the CEO of Flame Academy, speaking earlier on this news that the GDP of Nigeria year-on-year Q2 2021 has grown by 5%. We'll continue to monitor that development and hear indeed how the government is celebrating that one. Another story that concerns the National Bureau of Statistics, it appears like the Q2 2021 report will be the last official assignment of Dr. Yemi Kale, the DG of the NBS and the Statistician General of the Federation. This is because President Buhari has today approved the appointment of Dr. Simon B. Harry as the new boss of the NBS and Statistician General of the Federation. Yemi Kale's second tenure as DG of the NBS, I hear, has officially ended. Dr. Simon B. Harry is the current Director of Corporate Planning and Technical Coordination at the National Bureau of Statistics. They say he comes with 3 decades of experience on the job. His appointment was announced by the Office of the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning. The new helmsman at the National Bureau of Statistics. Smart was here with me. Smart today. While the PDP has a small matter, I think economic stories, about the first time the NNPC is declaring profits in 44 years, stands a bigger story this evening, as well as this report by the NBS that the economy, the GDP, everything we do, all our economic activities has taken a massive growth, year on year compared by this time last year, 5.1%. People who understand economics will say this is a massive growth, but there are people who also have their doubts. There are skeptics who are saying that Harvanage, explain to us really. But we're getting out of the pandemic. Economic activities are building up again. The borders were shut for a while, they're open again. Maybe if you put all of this as an aggregate, it's possible that things are getting better a little.
Well, I'd like to congratulate the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation particularly, and then on the general note, the federal government of Nigeria, led by President Muhammadu Buhari, and the All Progressives Congress led federal government. It's a good thing that this is happening under their watch and at their time. So it's a carrot and stick approach. So if things are going well, the man at the helms will actually get the credit, and if things are going south, nobody should expect that they should be praised even at that time. So this is good. First time the NNPC is making profits in 44 years.
It's history.
It's a historic one, and I just hope and pray that we continue in that direction. And then for the GDP growth of 5.01%, again, that is good. It's good that these numbers are coming out, but we're not interested in numbers. We want to see this translate from numbers in the papers, numbers in the books, numbers in annual reports of the NBS, to the lives of the generality of Nigerians.
Not in the pocket.
Yes, yes, of course. When we go to the market, let us see this 5.01% impact on the prices of goods and services, particularly staple foods that Nigerians, consume.
Rice and bread.
Yeah, Gari is fast becoming a luxurious, an ostentatious good, in Nigeria. People cannot buy even the local rice again. People can't afford food. Just yesterday, my wife had to tell me that I need to, in fact, she used the word substantially. She said I need to increase substantially the amount of money I bring for food. She told me yesterday. I had to call her and say, this substantially, where do you think the money is coming from? So prices of things have gone up.
And income has remained stagnant.
Yes, so until and unless Nigerians begin to feel the impact of this growth in these things, they may not believe. It might just be for the elite, paperwork. So it has to move from paperwork to what people can believe. The woman roasting corn by the roadside will not believe this 5.0% GDP until she goes to buy a bag of corn, maybe at K2 market, and they tell her the price has come down. I went to buy Hausa granite, that's what we call Aya in the north, and the cup I used to buy for 200, sometimes 250. The man said it's now 400. And I said, why? He said, we bring it from Benin Republic. And I said, when I was in Kano, this thing is 100 now. He said, even if I go to Kano now, I won't buy it. I won't buy it. So things have gone up astronomically. While we congratulate the government and the NBS and the economic eggheads in Nigeria, we just need to see, the impact of all these gains, in the day-to-day lives of the generality of Nigerians, and not just say in the domain of the elite.
Okay. I'm sure that people want to interact their messages already. People are talking about the PDP. I think we should talk about the GDP.
And unfortunately, GDP is not a political party.
Definitely not. Affects everyone.
0700 923 923 923 is the number you can call. 0700 923 923 923. Call that number or send your message on WhatsApp to 0817 313 6193. Hello, good evening to you.
Smart.
Thank you for calling us. What's your name, sir, and where are you calling us from?
I greet you. Good evening.
Good evening. Solomon, I think.
Who they greet you? I will greet you.
Why, Solomon? What has happened?
Look, now me and you tomorrow. The insult where you give us.
Oh. You're an Arsenal fan. I'm not an insult now. I'm just saying reality.
Don't worry. We'll see ourselves this weekend.
Okay.
Let me talk about the GDP. You have said it all. No matter the statistics that anybody is bringing, until the poor masses feel it, because before they can believe it. Look, there's another in my language. If you are talking to your friend's wife inside, make sure you open your door down, so that if you say, God see me, let's allow human being also to see you, because God will not come down from heaven to come and testify for what both of you are doing inside. So the GTDT, as far as I'm concerned, NNPC make profit. If the poor masses don't see it, they can never believe it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hello, good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening, Captain Mark.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay.
Good evening to you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Bagada. My name is Ramon.
Ramon, welcome to the show. The GDP or the PDP?
The GDP, yeah. Well, I'm not surprised. Reason I'm not surprised is that whatever way we look at it, this government is doing a lot in terms of a lot of things that we don't used to do before. Like rice revolution is real. That diversification into agriculture is real. It is in this government that we see youth, saying they are going into agriculture. We see high-tech agri company, crowdfunding, stuff like that. People can leave school and say they want to go into agri. That is a success already. And there are other diversification that is already going on. A lot of intervention, So I have to it will happen, but the only, ill luck that they had was the COVID and also the presidency approach to security. Assuming all these were not a factor, we will have been smiling home now, because our food will have even been cheaper, and the only impact will have been just COVID. You understand?
Yeah.
So, in the nearest future, if we can address security and people can go back to farm with further progress, then it will be good.
All right. Thank you so much, Aman, for your call. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening, Captain Smart and my dear CEO.
Okay, good evening. Welcome to the show. This is Adeyemi, I think.
Thank you. Yes, this is Adeyemi.
All right, then. Go ahead. Let's do this quickly.
Yes.
Time.
Two perspectives. First of all, to congratulate Dr. Kale, for completing his term very successfully.
2 good terms.
2 terms, successfully. I had been part of the development in the FOS and the transiting and so on for many years, three decades. And so I really welcome the next person on board, and I wish him best. Second thing is to say that the GDP that you were talking about, when you say somebody was dead, and then you say last year, and now it's coming alive, that is what the statistics is talking about. But I still need to see the details to see which sector has been responsible for this particular growth.
Non-oil sector, largely.
Sorry?
Largely it was from the non-oil sectors.
The non-oil sector.
So I'm sure it's apart from agriculture, it must also be in the areas of exports,
telecoms,
trade, and telecoms as well. And largely non-oil exports, yes.
Okay, so there's a possibility. So we will see the details to be able to, position our statement. Finally, I would like to say that the fact that NNPC is supposed to have made profit now after several years is an indication that the problem of NNPC is not the creation of new, limited liability company, but for creation of its, efficiency, internal efficiency. If NNPC, like the Arab oil company, is making profit and it's a government establishment.
Aramco, yes, in Saudi Arabia.
Aramco is making 50 billion, in a year. And here we are losing money because there is no efficiency. And we have a minister who is not even lifting a finger to help, to assist, to see what is happening on day to day. And we have all these refineries are in comatose. How do you make profit? So if it says it's making profit now, it means that its efficiency is grown. So it is not a question of creating new institutions. And now creating institutions is like, for me, wasting much time and not focusing on the real real problem of the oil sector.
Yes.
So I wish us luck, and I hope that Nigeria will recognize what is their real problem so that we can move our country forward.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And then maybe we'll just take a few messages that we have here today. This one says, congratulations to Wisdom Ebong as he emerged the... Okay, this is not what we're talking about yet. Restructure Nigeria or let every region go our separate ways now, because Nigeria... Okay, Lena from Yaba, Nigeria is still here. Nigeria is still very much here.
You are in Nigeria.
You are still in Nigeria.
And you carry a green passport, I know.
We are Nigerians. PDP has a house in confusion and commotion for as long as it remains a party of the highest bidder. Evidently, the performance of the NNPC and our GDP performance will not make headlines because it doesn't suit the narrative that those who hold the instrument of noise. I don't understand what you're talking about instrument of noise and blackmail.
People have opinions. Let them share. As long as it's in good taste, we'll of course elaborate and engage. Abotene,
thank you for your message. Anyway, good evening, Uncle Azu. I said in the morning that there's no cause for alarm concerning apparent wrangling in the PDP because it is something we will resolve in no time. However, I want to ask, was it only the position of the national chairman that is affected? Does it mean that Elder Yemi will occupy two positions as acting national chairman and deputy chairman South? James Obona from Oshodi. That's your message.
But the position of chairman is acting now, so how can he hold two positions? He's acting chairman. It doesn't affect his position as a deputy national chairman South. When a new chairman comes, he will go back to his old position. This is how things work.
Good evening. The PDP will continue to wobble and fumble till they lose relevance. If they have not lost it already, I hope APC threads the same path. Profit after tax, so what? Will it not be siphoned? It's President Muhammad Buhari and his fellow rulers, both in the House and Senate, together with governors, that will celebrate the windfall. Definitely not me. PDP is only relevant to the bookies. Does it put food on the table? Next base, Jare Chike Inakute. That's your message. Chifazu, please, is it true that Chamberlain and his co-presenter
I don't have that information.
Okay.
I don't have that information.
You can ask this TV station that is involved. We are Inspiration FM. Good evening. It's a good news hearing the increase in our GDP, but what's most important to me is knowing the cause of the growth. I mean, it being intentional and not fluke, then capitalize on it for much growth. And we need to feel its effects on our economy. Odoi from Matogo, that's your message. Recent gross domestic product report to me is diversionary and not on ground. It is just pure political, and earlier this government tell themselves the truth, better for them. And on PDP, the development stories, it's unfortunate that a party that once claimed after losing power that they have learned their lessons and is re-strategizing is descending this slow. Chika Benda,
I disagree with you. It's the same National Bureau of Statistics that told us in 2016 that our economy has entered the recession. You believed it then. Why won't you believe it if they tell you now that the economy has made a rebound and the GDP has expanded? Why won't you believe that? It's the same Yemi Kale that was DG then, that is DG now of the MBS. I find it ridiculous to think that we choose what we believe, especially in this case. It's good news at this time, and you don't want to believe it, Chika Bende.
Nigerians are just too used to bad news. When good news comes,
they probably don't believe
they'll just be doubting it all over the place. Unfortunately, we're not out of time. We can't take anymore.
Zainab is already here. Okay, thank you very much. I heard that the police, DIG Joseph Egbunike, has this evening submitted his report on Abba Kyari to the IG. That is one part of the police report. The second one from the Police Service Commission is coming. The Abba Kyari affair is still in the news.
Inspiration 92.3